Yo, 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 what up, everybody?
DCY!
Worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Had the mic off. That's on me.
That's on me.
Tom definitely told me exactly how to turn it on, and I totally forgot all about it.
He literally was like, hey, before you go out, turn the mic on.
I was like, got it.
Got it.
No, that's new responsibility that was thrust on me tonight. You gotta give me a break, okay?
It was short notice.
Yeah.
Short notice. You know,
Very.
we need a 24-day advancement. You know.
Just 3 calendar days, dog. Three calendar.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll let you take the blame if you want to.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying I remembered, but hey. Not trying to throw any shots or anything like that.
I'm not getting paid. You're getting paid, all right?
That's fair.
You're allowed
That's
to. You
fair.
need to be more on point than me, all right?
That's fair. That's fair. Dude, you know how long it's been since I've had one of these blue Kool-Aids? Shouts out to the Snack Shack. These are
honestly,
so
with you, I
fantastic.
don't feel like it's been that long.
I usually go for the red. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's
what a
why.
capper.
That's
what a
why.
capper.
I said,
wow.
I specifically said blue Kool-Aid. All right? All right. Hey, so for the past couple weeks, we've been talking about the Olympics, okay? It's been going on. Have you paid any attention yet?
Still not really. Although, actually, I watched figure skating only because it was on at the gym, and I saw someone, like an American, fall.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, Cody said we haven't been doing good, and that pretty much sums up.
Actually, we've been coming back, all right? Right now, we used to be in like 7th or 8th, but now we're like in 3rd, I think. But everybody's gonna lose to Norway. Norway has like 100 medals. Like they're killing everybody. I mean, they're used to cold. That's like their life.
That's not fair.
All right? That's like their life.
Well,
but
I guess it's not really fair for us in basketball, so I guess we'll let them have their moment.
That's right. That's right. But actually, currently going on is a very important game for USA men's curling, which has been my favorite one. If we win tonight, we go on to the semifinals, which is only the top 4 go in. So if we win tonight, we go in. If we lose tonight, Russia goes in. So with everything going on, I think it's pretty important that we win tonight.
Yeah, Russia's not even allowed to play though, right?
No, you don't even know. Like, let me give you the tea real fast.
They're the committee of Russia,
Let me
right?
give you the tea real fast, all right? So Russia, last Olympics, got banned from ever competing in the Olympics again. And they're like, because they got, all their coaches were giving all their people steroids to like make them better, which, I mean, that sounds like Russia, you know what I mean? Like, they have that history. So
you fight the bear and take the steroids.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You fight the bear and take the steroids.
In that order, you have to fight the bear first, and then you get the steroids.
Just find yourself deserving
and then you fight the bear again
steroids.
after you take the steroids.
Find yourself deserving of. All right. Anyway, so they got banned from the Olympics. They're like, you can't compete, and Russia was like, got it. So instead, they are allowed to. Their players or their people are allowed to enter into the Olympics under the Russian Olympic Committee. So not the country of Russia, but as the Russian Olympic Committee.
ROC.
As you can tell, that's just a slap on the wrist, and Russia had to be like, okay, no problem. Yeah, we're not gonna do steroids anymore.
But hey, the rest of the world's like, yes, we don't have to hear Russia's national anthem or see their flag flying around, because no one likes Russia.
I think they still do that.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Somebody's gonna have to fact check me on that because I know that for sure. But
well, what's the point
that's
then?
Not the tea. That's not the tea. That's not even the end of it. Right now in figure skating, there's this girl who's like 15 years old from Russia who was literally she's doing things nobody could ever do. It got found out that the girl been taking steroids. All right. So
this is my shocked face.
Yes. So not only is she better than everybody, but she was taking steroids. They found out. So what did the Olympic Committee do? They banned her. Wrong. Because it's under investigation when they have the results back. It's a big deal. Literally the commentators are being like, I used to say she's the best person in the world, best figure skater in the world. I refuse to call her that now. The commentators are angry about it. It's
you
crazy.
Don't have the commentators on your side.
It's crazy. So that's the tea in the Olympics. So now you got a little fact to go to school with tomorrow. You're welcome. All right. You're gonna be like, I know about the Olympics, and then forget everything. You're gonna be like, Russia's bad. They fight bears.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's gonna be the takeaway from this.
Steroids.
Is that we don't like Russia, right?
No, what? No, God loves Russia. We love Russia.
Well, we love Russia, but we don't have to like Russia.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
That's true. I don't like Russia.
Is it though? Has a point. Is it though? Okay. Lex said we love Russia. We're moving on. We got the signal to move on. Let's get on with announcements. All right. So Fine Arts is going on, everybody.
Woo!
We've been talking about this, man, for a couple weeks. Probably haven't been describing it the best way. But for real, like, I want to get serious for a little bit. And, like, Fine Arts has been big to, us for our entire lives.
Absolutely.
Like, literally, when we were in youth, like, when we were in your seats, your very seats, when we were in youth, like, we were always, every single year, heavily involved in fine arts. And I don't know about you, but I always feel like those years were the years that I stayed the most out of trouble. Because, like, it just gets you.
Well, because we got in trouble in fine arts.
Yeah, we got in trouble at church,
yes.
so that's not the same. All right, that wasn't the same.
There's levels to this stuff.
There's levels, all right?
Yeah, there's levels.
Okay.
Getting in church is different than getting in trouble with the law. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes. So I always felt like, man, it was mainly because I was surrounding myself and learning my craft, whatever that was, whether it was sign language or whatever it was. I was learning my craft with other Christians, and so, man, it helped me. Accountable, man. It helped me get those friendships even closer and tighter. So I cannot, man, recommend enough that for real, get in fine arts if you're thinking about it. Like, get in fine arts, and it's running out. Like, next week is when the cutoff is to, like, have your stuff figured out what you're gonna do. And if you're teetering and like, I don't know, maybe should I not? For real, you need to do it. It'll really, like, for real, help you in whatever you're trying to better yourself in.
If you do a short sermon, you'll do better than Cody ever did.
That's fair. I never once did a short sermon.
Never once. And he's literally your youth pastor.
That's also because so this is no lie. This is God's honest truth. When I was growing up, my mom was going to be like, Cody, you're going to be a youth pastor. And I was like, shut up, Mom. That sounds terrible. That's honest. I honestly told her, like, I don't want to do that at all. Until my senior year. Then I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Mom was right. I did a short sermon before that, and I really wish I would have. So maybe you should do short sermon, because one day maybe God's going to look at you and be like, you need to preach. I'm preaching. I'm giving that to some. I'm going to leave that out there for somebody. All right, other than that, we got Literature Treat coming up.
Woo!
Literature Treat is March 18th and 19th.
That's
all right,
the
guys,
biggin'.
we're getting our forms in. We got a sign-up sheet outside. Man, for real, it's $100 to go. And if you're looking at this and if you're wondering what it is, we go away for a weekend, or for really like a Friday night to Saturday. We leave on Friday, come back on a Saturday. It's the Friday and Saturday at the end of spring break. All right, so you're already out of school. You don't got to take off of school, anything like that. But for real, this is the most fun, but also the most, like, close to God. Where I was called to ministry, where God was like, you're going to be youth pastor, was at Literature Treat. That's where that happened. The same campground there, like the same auditorium we use. That's where it happened for me. So God, like, man, it's just a special place in my heart, in our heart. We also run all the games and all the camps, and so it always ends up being super stupid, but also super fun, like the good stupid.
That's our
not
specialty.
That's our specialty.
Super
honestly.
stupid, super fun.
Super stupid, super fun. That's our specialty. That's where it is. So for real, if you're like, man, $100, I don't got that kind of money, and my mama will beat me if I asked her for that money. Look, if you're not going because of finances, that's the wrong reason. We have so many, like, our church loves y'all enough that they constantly, like, I constantly have people like, hey, I don't have any kids that are in youth, but here's 2 kids scholarships for camp or for fine arts. Sorry, I'm going to get it right. For Literature Treat. They do it for camp. They do it for fine arts also. But right now we're talking about Literature Treat. So they say, like, hey, you're going to Literature Treat, right? All right, cool. Here's 2 students. Like, here's 2, like, scholarships for us. So if you need those, don't be afraid to ask for those, because they are there for you. We want you there. Finances cannot be the reason you don't go. Like, we will not let that happen. We'll find a way. Like, we'll get you there. So I just need to know. All you got to do is talk to me, all right? Well, talk to me and we'll figure it out. We'll get you there, okay? But you need to be going. So that sheet outside where you, like, check in, that should be full. Like, I should see all y'all's names on there tonight, all right? That should be full. So make sure you go to Literature Treat. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to Literature Treat?
Yes.
Good. That's the correct answer. No, I didn't hear a yes from you, Noah. Did you say yes? I want a yes. That is not an excited yes. That's not an excited yes. I want your excited yes. I got a call from this man at 10 o'clock last night telling me he wanted to buy a pet raccoon, all right? I want to hear how excited you were about the pet raccoon. I'm glad I told you no. I'm glad I told you don't get the pet raccoon. How many of y'all thought that would be a bad idea if Noah got a pet raccoon? How many of y'all think it's a great idea? There's your 100 signatures right here, all right? Get them signed up. All right. But other than that, if it's your first time here tonight, man, I want to meet you. I want to explain all of this craziness. We like to say, put the Y behind D. So if it's your first night, yeah, it wasn't connected. If it's your first night, or maybe you've been here, like you've gone to the church for a while, but this is your first time checking out DCY, what I want you to do is we'll head back into the game room. You can meet me at those back doors, but whoever you came with, like you can bring them, or if you came by yourself, because your parents dropped you off, man, there are gonna be more people back there, but I just wanna, man, let you spin our prize wheel. You could walk away tonight with the illustrious crisp high five.
Ooh,
Crisp high five is my favorite.
A dancing Jesus.
Or you could walk away with a dancing Jesus. That's the truth. It's a little dancing Jesus.
Is there any negative ones? Like,
no,
you get
I
a slap in the face.
If it's their first time, I couldn't. There was one that was a mystery box, and that did not go over well. A girl walked away with a foam finger and was so mad. Because somebody else got a Whataburger gift card. She got a foam finger. And I was like, maybe we should change this. But they're all good prizes now, okay? All good prizes now. So it's your first time.
Hey, man, that's the wheel. Sometimes it spins your way. Sometimes it spins the other way, man.
So meet me at those back doors, and we'll give you the explanation. Everybody else in here, we'll play a game.
Yes.
Gee, I don't know. What game?
All right, we're running it back. Week 2. Weed tennis. Who wants to take it on? Okay, you really wanted to last week.
Who wants to get smacked by Lexus?
I don't know. I didn't know if I was gonna play this week. I don't want to like.
Well, I think we should do. I like how we did it last week. We had 2 people fight it out, and then you just torch the winner. I'm cool with that. I like that.
All right, Armstrong, let's go. Let's see what you got. All right.
Yeah, I think you go ahead and pick like your potential competition.
Oh, I already picked him.
Oh, you got them both? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
We got them both right here.
Yeah, let's get situated and stuff.
All right. Let me move out of y'all's way. It's really a jam. Okay.
They did not have to go so hard on the Wii soundtrack, but I'm so glad they did because they go so hard. This music is fantastic, man.
All right,
so
tennis.
Good. I think I told y'all last week, my alarm in the morning is the Wii Sports theme. And I'm telling you, I wake up in a piece every single morning.
It's this?
Not this one, it's the doot, 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 doot. That one.
Okay.
Telling you, I wake up in such a better mood now.
We got Usher and Zoe.
All right.
Zoe looks like she means
Best of 3.
That should be yay.
All right, here we go.
Out.
Usher to serve. Oh, a little too much mustard on that one.
That would have been good.
Whoa. Oh, now we got some comments piping up from the back now, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Good rally. There we go.
Gotta get hit.
Have we talked yet about how stupid scoring is in tennis? It's so stupid. 15, 30, and then 40? If you didn't hear Kendall, he said, you love it and you know it.
Oh, that's a tennis joke.
That one deserved some clout. I had to repeat that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. The old knee slapper.
Who won? Oh, Usher.
All right. Game 1. Usher.
One for Usher.
Oh.
That was.
How you feeling, Lex? Are you a little nervous?
I'm a little nervous. He's got a good swing.
He's bringing the heat now, baby. Can Gracie recover? Uh-oh. 40 love.
That's
This
all
is
right,
match
Gracie. You
point.
got this. You got this.
Match point.
Oh.
All right.
You're on the board now. You're
Gracie
on the
stays
board.
alive. Match point still.
Get it back. Dang.
Bro, you gonna choke? What's going on, bro? Oh, and that is game, set, match.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Our reigning defending champion, Lexus, is entering the fray. Okay, look. If y'all want to get to work in Madden, 2K, FIFA, I got you. Wii Tennis, very mediocre. Grossly mediocre. We can do that next week. We can do that next week. I ain't no scrub, don't get me wrong. I said a mediocre, which is average. But like that's me at my best. I can have moments where I'm terrible. Uh-oh. Ooh, all right. And here we go. Now Lex is starting to get the fire back behind her ball now. Oh, that was brutal. That one was brutal. All right, we are in the deuces. All right. Advantage to Lex. Break point. Oh, that second man got him. She had to work for it, but the first game goes to Lex. Oh, man. I don't envy you, bro. I don't envy you. No, she was not ready for him to return that one. Oh my goodness. She always saves the heaters for whenever it's like crunch time. All right, 40-30, still match point. And that is it. Game, set, match. Lexus continues to be undefeated, unmatched. The Wii Tennis Queen, if you will.
I don't know if I should be proud of this or not. Like, did I like have a social life, or did I just play Wii Sports when I was younger?
I think you should start a TikTok account.
That and Guitar Hero.
Yes.
Guitar Hero. I can tear down on
Okay, yeah, Guitar Hero. If we busted out Guitar Hero, which I don't know if we could actually do that or not, but if we ever did, I would slay all of you in that. I promise you, that's my game. Because if you can't do first off, if you can't do the orange button on it, I already got you beat there.
Oh.
I already got you beat there.
Okay,
I can do the orange button.
I'll give you that one. You get that game.
Yeah.
That's your
That's a good flex. If you use the orange button in Guitar Hero, you're built different.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, why don't y'all stand with me as we move into prayer and worship. God, we thank you for tonight. God, we thank you that we're able to just be here and worship you. God, I pray that tonight you would have your way, Jesus. We give you all the honor, all the glory. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
I feel it in my bones, you're about to move. I feel it in the wind, you're about to ride in. Said that you would pour your spirit out. Said that you would fall on sons and daughters.
seat, take a seat. I'm sorry if anybody saw that. Okay, good, y'all are turned around. I definitely didn't dab. Don't say that I did. This is beautiful. I don't know if you can see this, but thank you, Spencer. This will never change. Look at this. If you can see that, that's just half of Spencer's face. This is the greatest thing ever. Thank you, Spencer. I appreciate that. Yeah, half of Spencer's face. You would think that like on my iPad it'd be like half of Lexus's face, but no, it's half of Spencer's face. You just took that? Wow. You did two things at once, and that's impressive. I'm impressed. All right, let me go ahead and get started with the rest of let me go ahead and start with this message. We've been in the middle of a series entitled, do y'all remember? Toxic. Ooh, so it stuck with you. Good. And the series entitled Toxic. And so over these next couple weeks, we're going to talk in our lives, those things that, man, we got to get rid of in order to really give God our all and pursue God with everything. And so that's, man, from different relationships, from friendships to last week, we started right at home and talked about how sometimes we're the toxic one. And how we may not like to admit that, and I hope I didn't like have a glass-shattering moment for you that like, what? Actually, I hope that I did. If you are the toxic one, I really hope that I did like have that moment like, wow, maybe it is me. But we addressed that question. We looked at how in the Bible, King David, who we know is like this huge hero, the guy who defeated Goliath, King David allowed himself to become a toxic person and ended up, going into sin after sin and trying to cover sin with sin and doing all this stuff and not really getting it out and not confessing it to God, and how whenever he was going through that, he talked about how freeing it is whenever you really confess what's going on in you to God and really get rid of that toxic, sin in your life and give it to God. And so last week, we pursued that and we gave it back all to God and let God know, like, I'm sorry, and asked for forgiveness. And now we're moving on. We talked about how, it's important to get accountability. And then the part that was my favorite that really didn't have anything to do with all of that was, praying as a family. Like that's one of my favorite things we will ever do is pray together as a family. That, if somebody's hurting, like everybody gathering around and praying is just, one of the most encouraging things and one of the most encouraging things to see. But tonight, I want to talk about something else that's really nice, that is always a nice subject. And with Valentine's Day this past Monday, it's perfect. We're going to talk about the toxic heart. All right, the toxic heart. How many of y'all have heard or have been told this advice, or maybe even gave this advice to somebody of just follow your heart? Like, hey, you know what? Just follow your heart. Whatever your heart tells you, that's what you need to do. Like, whatever your heart says, that's what you need to do. And as good as intentions as that advice is, I got to let you know tonight that is some of the worst advice that you can give somebody, is to follow your heart. Like, whatever your heart desires, go after, because, that's what you need to do. You go after, like, whatever your heart wants, that's what you need to do. And if you don't believe me that it's bad advice, believe the Bible, because listen to what it says in Jeremiah. All right, we're going to go through. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of verses that talk about it, so be ready. Jeremiah says, the human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is? Proverbs talks about it a ton. Proverbs says, whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom is delivered. It also says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you what path to take. And then Psalm says, my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my Now, maybe you hear that and you're like, Cody, those were all Old Testament. That was before Jesus. Before Jesus came into my heart, and now because Jesus is in my heart, I'm never going to do anything evil ever again. Let me tell you what Jesus says about it. In Matthew, he says, from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. He also says in Luke, says a good person produces a good thing from the treasury of a good heart, and an evil person produces evil things from the treasury of evil heart. What you say flows from what is in your heart. And so, that advice of follow your heart is great intentions, but it's terrible advice, because our heart can be toxic. Like, our heart can want things that are not good for us. We could, want things that are not beneficial to either ourselves, our relationship with God, whatever it is. Our heart can want different things. man, do what Proverbs says and use wisdom, or if we don't go to God with what our heart desires and like what we really want and don't, man, submit that to God, then it can be really dangerous. And so last week we talked about a big name of David. This week I want to talk about another, if you've been raised in church or been to around church a long time, another big name is Samson. Not Anna Samson or like the Samson brothers. I'm not talking about them. This is Samson in the Bible that was confused earlier when I was telling somebody who we're talking about tonight that was confused. But this is Samson in the Bible. His story is found in Judges. And if you don't know who Samson is this, he's a man's man. Like, he is a big, burly, super strong guy that just can destroy, whatever he puts his mind to. Like, literally, the Spirit of God came over him and, made him super strong. Whenever he was born, whenever his parents were praying to, have a child, God told them, all right, no, I'm going to give you a kid. He's going to do great things. I'm going to give you a son. He's going to do great things. But the only thing is, don't cut his hair. Don't ever cut his hair. That's going to be the source of his strength. Don't ever cut his hair. And they're like, no problem. So never cut his hair. And this dude does incredible things. He there's a time where a lion came to attack him and he stopped it and literally ripped apart its jaws from itself. Like a lion, like a real lion came at him and he didn't just cower away. What is a bear? How many, one of the biggest questions that we always discuss as guys, I don't know why, this is what bros do, but we just discussed how many grown men do you think it would take to fight a bear? No weapons, bare hands. Bare hands. Yeah, see, I didn't do that on purpose, but bare hands. How many guys do you think it would take to kill a bear? You really got to think about it. Now you're going to be thinking about that question. But either way, this dude took on a lion by himself, all right, and took out the lion. There's also a story where an army is attacking him. He's about to fight an entire army of 1,000 guys, and he's like, oh, man, I don't have anything on me. Is that a dead donkey? Let me take its jawbone. Took a jawbone and killed 1,000 dudes with the jawbone of a donkey. This guy is incredible, and the dude was incredibly strong. But he had one weakness, his heart. He had one weakness, and it was women. I have to state this before I continue on. We're going to talk about a lot of bad women. I'm not saying that all women are this way, but these women definitely are. All right? So the most famous story with Samson is always talking about Delilah, which I cannot say that name and not at least once go, Delilah. Does anybody else do that? Just me? All right. Y'all listen to the radio. But before the story of Delilah happens, and we'll get to what all that is because, man, Delilah just continued just to, man, do him dirty. But before we get to Delilah and all the things that she does to him wrong, Delilah, because he should have learned his mistakes earlier on, because early at the very beginning of his story, when he's finally becoming a man, his first wife, and goes out to find who he's going to marry, in that this woman that he's about to marry ends up betraying him, and he does not learn for this. So let's jump into that story. It's in Judges 14. It says, one day when Samson was in Timnah, one of the Philistine women caught his eye. When he returned home, he told his father and mother, a young Philistine woman in Timnah caught my eye. I want to marry her. Go get her for me. This was back in the day when those kind of transactions happen, all right? Not saying this is good anymore, but those kind of transactions happen. It's hey, I got 14 goats. Can I marry your daughter? And they were like, seems like a reasonable price. That's how it worked. Don't move on from it. Just that's how the world was back in the day. So he said, go get her for me. His father and mother objected. And was trying to talk him out of this. Isn't there even one woman in our tribe, our people, among all the Israelites that you can marry? Why must you go after this pagan Philistine to find a wife? Why do you have to find somebody that doesn't even believe what we believe, worships other gods? Why are you trying to find somebody who doesn't believe the same thing we do? Don't do that. And so Samson told his father, go get her for me. She looks good to me. So his bride of choice wasn't based on how godly of a woman she is, wasn't based on that she believed the same things, didn't have any standard except for one thing. Does she look fine? That was his one and only question. That's the one and only thing he cared about is she fine? Because he was only searching after it with his heart, not trying to use the logic and the guidance and the advice that his parents were telling him of hey, are you sure you want to do that? No, he only wanted one does she look good? He only searched after with his heart. Unfortunately, the heart wants what it wants. Do you know that song? That's going to be stuck in your head. You don't know that song? It's going to be stuck in your head all day. All right. So so they go through all the things you got to do to buy the daughter, and so they're starting this wedding. And the way they did weddings back in this day, where it wasn't just one day where they they have a nice ceremony, and then towards the evening they have a dancing party. That's not what it was. This was a week-long celebration, 7 days long of just the families hanging out together. They would all just be around and have this giant week-long party. And at the end of the party was this actual ceremony. That's whenever the real marriage happened, was at the end of the 7 days. So in the middle of the 7 days, Samson's feeling cool. I mean, he can walk around anywhere he wants, and nobody's gonna mess with him because he's the strongest dude ever. And so he's feeling cool. He's about to get married. He's not worried about a thing, feeling super confident, and walks over to 30 of the people from 30 men from his wife's bridal party, 30 guys, and he's look, all right, I got a riddle for you. Evidently he liked to make bets like this. He's I got a riddle for you. If you can answer this riddle, I will give each one of y'all, so I'll give you 30 men of the best clothing and the best robes, basically saying I'll drip you out. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to get you a nice fit. You're going to be nice, some Jordans. I'm going to get you some nice clothes, all of y'all, if you can answer my riddle by the end of the week. If you can't, though, then all of y'all, so 30 of y'all have to give me all the nice stuff. I want all the robes. I want all the nice party outfits, the expensive stuff. I want the good stuff. And so they were seems like a reasonable price to me. We got 7 days to come up with a riddle, to find the answer to the riddle. No problem. Gives them the riddle, and they are stumped and cannot figure it out at all. So they go a little extreme, and they go to who's about to be his wife, who's a part of their own people, and they go to him, and they start to, instead of being hey, you need to find out what he gets because we're your people, what he knows and what the answer is because we're your people. They go to him hey, you need to find that out, and if you don't know the answer, he's going to bankrupt us, and so we're going to burn down your family's house, and we're going to put you in it and do that too. So the woman's threatened, all right? So you can't hold that against her. But she's threatened, and instead of being honest and going to her husband, who could destroy anybody and beat all of these dudes up by himself, instead of going and being honest and letting him know what the situation is, she goes about it a completely different way. You don't love me. You hate me. You gave them this riddle, and you won't even tell me the answer. I'm about to be your wife, and you won't even give me the answer. You need to tell me the answer. So Samson sees her, and hold on. I haven't even told my parents the answer. Why do I need to tell you the answer? I haven't told anybody the answer. Trying to reason with her. But this woman's not going to let something silly like logic get in the way of what she was trying to do. All right, she was on a mission. She was going to get this answer. So for the entire celebration, the thing that's supposed to be the most fun and just have this joyous of a time, all she did was give him the cold shoulder and just kept on nagging him about it. The way I picture it is he's just chilling, and he's hey, babe, will you throw this away? And she's maybe I throw it away if you give me the answer to the riddle. No, you throw away your own trash. Little stuff like that. Just if you've ever been in a relationship, little stuff like that just you shouldn't be mad about, that you get really mad about. Those are the kind of things that I feel she did the entire week. So finally, by the end of the week, after all of this, the Bible says he literally told her the answer because she was tormenting him with her nagging, is what it says. And so finally he gives her the answer to the riddle. She immediately goes, tells the other dudes. They go to him answer, and so immediately he knows it's her. And he's I knew it was that woman. All right, a deal's a deal. You wouldn't have got it if you didn't go to her. A deal's a deal. Here's your 30 clothes. Here's all your stuff. That I owe you. Here's all your stuff, and gets furious, and storms out, goes back home, and leaves the wedding, leaves the party, leaves everything, and goes back home and lives with his mom and dad, and is just furious at it. And so naturally the dad, after having this whole party, is I guess we'll just give the daughter to the best man of the wedding. That's his natural, and he can do that because, how do I say this right? They didn't do what married people do to because they're married. They didn't do that yet, if that makes sense. They didn't do that, and so technically the marriage never happened. Yeah, thank you. technically, the marriage never happened, and so he could give her away to whoever he decided. He was like, all right, the best man of the wedding, you got it. And so this marriage that was supposed to happen, this marriage was ruined because two people went after what their heart, didn't listen to advice, didn't listen to, man, what they were, the smart thing to do and the logical thing to do. They didn't go after that. All they were searching after were their hearts. And so you would think Samson, after being betrayed like this, would learn from it. But he's got one weakness, his heart. And so a little later, he falls in love with a woman named Delilah. Now, Delilah, man, all right, let me just go into this. Delilah, so these Philistines, the leader of the Philistine army, all right, these guys come to her and they're like, hey, they don't approach it the same way. This time is a little different. They go to her and they're like, hey, we'll each give you 1,100 pieces of silver if you get Samson to tell you why he's so strong, why we can never defeat him. Find out that, and then if you can tie him up and we'll capture him, like, then we'll each give you because from the time that, like, after the whole wedding debacle to now, like, they going back and forth, like, he'll like betray them and they betray him, and they go back and forth. And so now they're like, he keeps on beating us because he's much stronger than us. Why is this happening? If you can find out, we'll each give you 1,100 pieces of silver. And so Delilah goes about this, man, in one of the smartest ways ever. She literally just says it. It's one of the craziest things. She just says, please tell me what makes you so strong. That's probably not how Delilah sounds. Please tell me what makes you so strong, and what is it? No, you're right. That's not right. Please tell me what makes you so strong and what it would take to tie you up and, like, make you weak, which seems a little suspicious to me. If somebody's like, hey, what makes you so strong, and what would it take? I don't know. What would it take to, like, tie you up so you couldn't get away? Like, what would that take? Like, it seems a little suspicious. But heart wants what it wants. And so he's learned a little bit. He gives her and, like, tests her a little bit and gives her a fake answer. And he tells her that if you get 7 bowstrings that, man, have never been dried before, and you wrap them around my wrist, I become as weak as any other man. And so she goes and tells the Philistines. They, like, in the middle of the night, she ties 7 bowstrings around him. As soon as the Philistines come in, he breaks out of it, runs away, and gets away. No problem at all, right? Then after that, Samson lives in his whole life alone. Wrong, because he wants only one thing. He hearts what it wants. He's following after his heart. So he goes back to Delilah and is just chilling with her. Like, they're just chilling again. And so now she's still trying to get her money. She's still trying to get hers. And so she goes to him and she's like, you've been making fun of me. You gave me a fake answer and made me look like a fool. Like, why would you do that? I can't believe you would do that. You need to tell me the real answer. And continues to nag him. And so he loves this woman. All right, maybe she has good intentions, excuses on why this is probably okay. And so he gives her another fake answer. So 7 new ropes, like brand new ropes that have never been touched before, 7 new ones. You wrap them around my wrists. I'm as weak as any other man. And so she tries that. The Philistines come in. He breaks out and gets away, like, right again. And so then Samson runs away. No, Samson goes back to her a third time. This is now 3 times. And again, she tries, same exact tactic. She's not trying anything new. You would think Samson would learn from this, but he hasn't at all. Not trying anything new. Literally is like, you've been making fun of me and you made me look like a fool again. How could you not tell me the real answer? And so then he gives her another fake answer, and this time he says, if you weave his hair into fabric, then he can't get out of it, which isn't the whole truth, because he's running out of lies to tell her, running out of fake answers to give her, and he's running out of reasons, man, to trust her. And so he's giving her, like, something closer to the truth. So she sets him up. Philistines come in. He breaks away again, and finally, like, again, after getting away, is now hanging back out with Delilah for the 4th time. This is now 4 times, all right? And so this time, She looks at him and throws out the big guns. Like, how can you say you love me and not give me the real answer? I deserve to know the real answer. I don't know what she was saying with those excuses. Like, those are all coincidences. I didn't know they were going to be there every time I asked you and every time I did it that very night. Like, I didn't know they were going to be there. And so finally, because he's following after his heart and knows that he loves her, so he's going to make every excuse he can for her to why this is okay. He finally tells her the truth, that if you cut my hair off, I'm as weak as any other man. So she goes, tells them, like tells the Philistines, she cuts his hair that night, like lets him fall asleep, cuts his hair that night. And as the Philistines come in, it says Samson tries to get up and tries to like fight back, but can't because all his strength is now gone. Because his hair, she did exactly what she knew what she was trying to do that entire time. And so Samson, this whole time, continue to follow his heart, continue to follow, man, what he thought was going to be the best thing for him, that he thought, man, a relationship will solve all my problems. I can beat up anybody, but why am I not happy? If I get the right girl, man, it'll be worth it. And so he made all these excuses for this girl, and it eventually cost him his strength and eventually his life. Let's get the band to come back up. Our hearts are dangerous. And so many times people are like, man, why do I always end up dating these bad guys? Or why do I always end up getting like the bad girl? Like I've been really just wanting to give my heart to the right girl, but she always seems to take advantage of it. Or like this, I've been really liking this guy, but I know he's not good for me. And he keeps on doing these things that I know are really bad, but if he would just not do that, he'd be such a good boyfriend. And you make all these excuses and you do all this, and like you're wondering why does this keep on happening to me? Maybe it's because you continue to follow your heart and you don't follow after God. That's the whole, purpose of tonight. And that's the one thing I want you to take away from this is God doesn't want us to follow our hearts. We've learned that, from Samson, from other scriptures, that our heart cannot be trusted. God doesn't want us to follow our hearts. God wants us to follow him. In Proverbs, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. And then, a really powerful verse is Psalms. It says, trust in the Lord and do good, then you will safely live in the land and prosper. Listen to this verse. Verse 4 is good. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. For years, people saw that and was like, whatever you want, whatever your heart wants, God's going to give it to you. Like he knows you want it so bad, so he's going to give it to you. Go ahead and take it. That's what people read this as, but that's not what it says. It doesn't say that he will give you whatever your heart desires. It says what it's saying is he will give your heart what it needs to desire. If you search after him, he's going to give your heart what it needs to be desiring. And you're following him, and so now because of that, you're following your heart only because you're following him, because that's what you now want. When you don't want anything else and you just want God, you realize how true happiness that comes from that. So the whole point of tonight is don't follow your heart, follow God. Y'all stand up with me. Don't follow your heart, follow God. But as we close tonight in worship, I want to do something that's going to be a little bit different. We usually break out and we always get alone with God, and so you can have your moment. But one of the things I'm going to ask you to do tonight is search after God like you never have before. And it's really easy in a dark room like this, in a moment where you get by yourself. It's really easy to just kind of sit back and kind of blend in the shadows and not really, you can get kind of lost in this and just kind of sit down. It happens all the time, and tonight I want to do a little bit different. Instead of spreading out, tonight I want everybody to come up to the front. Y'all can go ahead and start making your way. I want everybody to come up to the front, because I want you to search after God, but don't search after. Tonight I don't want you to search. Y'all spread now. Y'all got to make room. We got more people coming up. I don't want you to search after God with each other. All right, we're family. We say that all the time. One of the things family does is family builds each other up. And so, as you worship tonight, look to your right, look to your left, seeing somebody else worship and seeing somebody else go all out in worship is one of the most encouraging things you can witness. And being that just that being able to be free like that is, man, one of the best feelings in the world to worship. That's why church exists, is so people can worship together. And so tonight, that's what I want us to do, is to search after God, man, more than we ever have. I want to end on this verse. It's Jeremiah 29:13. A lot of people know Jeremiah 29:11, and that is like the Letterman verse, but Jeremiah 29:13 is powerful. It says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." You will seek me and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart. So tonight, search after God. As we sing these worship songs, man, worship God and search after God with your whole heart.
and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. And as the Spirit was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. As the Spirit was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. Fire and wind, come and do it again. Open up the gates, let heaven on in. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. Fire and wind, come and do it again. Open up the gates, let heaven on in. Come rest on us. Rest on us. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. You're all we want. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. You're all we want. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. You're all we want. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Calm down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. You're all we want. Holy Spirit, come rest on us. You're all we want. You're all we want. seen what you can do, oh God of wonders. Your power has no end. The things you've done before, in greater measure, you will do again. 'Cause there's no prison wall you can't break through, no mountain you can't move. All things are possible. There's no broken body you can't raise, no soul that you can't save. All things are possible. The darkest night, you can light it up. You can light it up. God of revival, let open eyes, death is overcome. You've already won. God of revival, you
Tonight, man, we use that example because Valentine's is right around the corner of just relationships, girls, boys, whatever it is, how that can be toxic to you. But when I say don't trust your heart, that means, man, that's not just relationships. That's not just in that 100%. Don't trust your heart in that. Like, man, follow God in that. But at the same time, man, what your heart wants isn't always about that. Like, I know my biggest struggle growing up, my biggest struggle was always my heart wanted to be liked more than anything else. I wanted everybody to like me. I didn't want to have any enemies. I didn't want anybody to, like, not think I was, man, just the best person ever. Like, I wanted to be liked wherever I went. And so because of that, I morphed myself into whatever somebody else needed and morph myself into whatever that situation needed. Like, I literally would have birthday parties. My mom's a big party thrower. I'd literally have birthday parties of, like, birthday party for my school friends and birthday party for my church friends, because I was petrified that my school friends and church friends would mix, because then I would get exposed for what I wasn't living, because I wasn't the same person there that I was there. And so I wanted to be liked by both groups, so I would have different Codys for both groups. And I can't, man, stress to you enough how if you go through life only wanting to be liked and only doing whatever you can to be liked, and never being your real self and never being who God has called you to be, never being who deep down you know you should be, if you continue to do that, you're going to feel fake everywhere you go, and you're going to feel empty everywhere. You're going to feel like you don't have any real friends everywhere you go, because you're not being yourself. And so you can't trust this relationship, this friendship that you have, or this, man, you can't trust that. And so your heart, going after what your heart wants and following your heart isn't only about relationships. Man, it's whatever is big and whatever is important to you, whatever you put the most amount of time into. Man, if you don't submit that to God, you're always going to feel like something's missing. You're always going to feel like it's not full, it's not complete. Because the only thing that's going to complete you is not a relationship, not a friendship, not a certain grade average. The only thing that's going to complete you is God. Is a relationship with God is the only time you're going to feel full. So, man, I want to pray out. And as soon as I'm done praying out, you can be dismissed. And, man, I hope y'all take this and you, man, run with it. And don't run after what your heart wants, but run after God. And, man, search God and let him tell you what you need to be wanting. Let him tell you what you need to be searching after. So, God, I pray tonight, man, over every student here, over every person in this room, God, that you, man, would plant in our heart, God, what desire we need to be chasing after, God, that ultimately all we chase after is you, God, and everything else, God, lines up only because we're not focused on that. We don't want that so bad, God. The only thing we want is you. God, I pray that we make our relationship with you our top priority. And God, that we don't chase after and we don't follow our heart, we follow you. And I thank you for that, Father. In your name, I and everybody else said, amen, amen, amen. Man, I love seeing y'all here. Y'all have a great week. Y'all can go hang out. stop by the snack shack, all that stuff. So, he did good. I made room. I was like peeking over here. Said, come on over. Well, luckily, so here's the thing that you don't know. So I play a guitar that's tuned B to B. So it's tuned very differently. So I normally play very different chords. But for some reason today, I decided just to keep the same ones up there and I was transposing my head. So it worked. Really great job. You guys are all listening so well and building so well and changing so it allows room to move. Everybody's listening and feeling what God's doing. So that's why things are moving. You guys are doing a great job. Yeah. Great job tonight, dude. I had my hiccups. No, hiccups are great, man. When the song is here, you let it go. And you did, you let it go. That was good. Well, now that you know it, it's different, isn't it? Well, so that's part of this issue. You gotta know what the song means. So once you know what it means, it changes the whole meaning of this. I mean, changes everything.